Many of those people approached did not want to contest the last elections because they do not want to be part of a political party. They would like to be part of the electoral process, but not part of a political party. These same people who had been approached previously and who said no, we are now offering them to these political parties, but not as political party members, but as individuals from the civil society movements, activists, professionals, people who can do a far better job than the 222 people you have now. Well, at least a big group of the 222 people, even if not all. These people are not strangers to the political parties. In fact, some of these dames, we've bounced off the political parties and they're watering at the mouth and they're saying, oh, if I could just get them to stand on our party ticket, no problem. We are not creating a new political party. We do not wish to contest in a three-corner fight. We do not wish to take over the role of the political parties. The fact that many refuse to contest because of the political parties is testimony that they do not wish to be a political party, but they are prepared to do national service. Now, many of them were reluctant. When we spoke to them, they said, no, I'm not interested in power. I'm not interested in glory. I'm not interested to become a politician. I said, no, this is not about power. This is not about glory. This is not about turning you into a politician. This is about pleading with you as a son of Malaysia or as a daughter of Malaysia, pleading with you to do national service. And the national service you are going to do is to go into Parliament and help reform Parliament, reform the whole system that is broken and in dire need of repair. I would like to announce the first candidate today. And I have his biodata. I will not read his biodata because if I do that, I'll need another extra hour just to go through his biodata. That's how strong he is. We shall from time to time over the next couple of days and many, many days thereafter, we shall be announcing the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and so on and so forth. Hopefully until we reach at least 30. Our target is 30. 30 new Wakil Rakyat. And the first name today I'm going to announce is Malik Imtiaz Sarwar. Malik Imtiaz Sarwar, a few months ago, was in UK receiving an award for his human rights work. Now, all the details are there on that piece of paper. We are also going to put, a few hours after this, we're going to put the same details on the website, mclm.org.uk. And those who are not here today can, in a short while, view his biodata on the website. I believe on the 17th, we shall be announcing the second candidate, and probably on the 19th, maybe the third candidate in Kuala Lumpur. And as I said, currently we have about half of that 30 filled. We got half to go. And there are many who are very suitable candidates but are still shy, still malu. And we still try to convince them that don't think of yourself, think of the nation, think of the country, think of this as national service, your contribution as a loyal son of Malaysia. I believe we could easily fill in at least 20, if not 30, of these slots that we have. Now, the other question that I was asked, at least through email, is politics costs money. How are we going to fund 30 candidates in the next election? Well, we need 200,000 at least for each candidate, because legally that's the amount of money we can spend if it's a parliament seat, and 100,000 ringgit, yeah? I'm not talking pounds, 100,000 ringgit if it's a state seat. Plus whatever bilik operasi and various campaigns and stuff. So which means if we meet our full quota of 30 candidates, we're going to need something like 10 million ringgit or 2 million pounds. Now we have, from months back, been talking to various individuals, various Malaysians all over the world. Those people who have made their name, who have made their money in Australia, in Canada, in the US, even here in the UK. And the pledges that we have received so far is quite close to that 10 million. But, and this is the but, if they're happy with the quality of our candidates, they're going to come forward and adopt each of those candidates and help finance those candidates. Now, these people used to be strong Pakatan Rakyat supporters. They were overjoyed when they saw the results of the 2008 general election. Many of these people have said they no longer see the future, and therefore they do not want to get involved. What they're not happy with is, of course, the quality of the candidates, especially the last couple of months or last 1 year, where we had many candidates jumping ship, switching camps and stuff like that. They ask us, how sure are you that these candidates that you are presenting after winning the elections will not jump over to the other side? This is the third question that many ask me. My reply was, even those from political parties, there's no guarantee they won't jump. Is it fair to ask us this question, whereas the same question could be asked to Barisan Nasional or even Pakatan Rakyat? What guarantee is there that their candidates will not jump? So the issue of candidates jumping, of course, if you need to ask, you can ask any political party. But the fact that these are reluctant politicians, the fact that these people do not want to contest, the fact that we have to go down on our hands and knees and beg them to contest, shows that they're not in this for power. Why would they bother to want to contest and switch camps? If in the first place they could join the political party and contest, without worrying about which party they want to be in. So now the issue of party, as far as they're concerned, jumping to which party is not an issue. They do not want to be in the party. However, we acknowledge one reality, and that is the political parties carve out the seats. They distribute the seats. They share out the seats. So, I don't know why, but it's perceived like the seats are owned by the political parties. The seats belong to the political parties, which is not so. The seats actually don't belong to the political parties. The seats belong to whoever wins the election. But they've created this system where the right of that seat belongs to the political parties. So if you want to contest in that, that particular seat, you must go back to the political party and negotiate with them. But we are not going to do that. We are not going to do that. What we're going to do is we shall line up the candidates, the Barisan candidates, Barisan meaning, not Barisan Nasional. The Barisan of the candidate, we shall line them up and we shall offer them to the political parties. Now, do you like our candidates? If you don't like our candidates, that's okay. We're not forcing you to accept them. If you feel that these are the kind of candidates you're looking for and you want them, you're welcome. Which seat you want to put them is up to you. If you decide you want this particular candidate to contest in Sungai Siput, Sungai Siput. If you feel it should be in Shah Alam, Shah Alam. You decide where you want to put these candidates. We're not going to go down and tell you this seat we want or that seat we want. We're not in the seat business. We are in the business of offering you candidates because you complain. The political parties complain they have a problem getting good candidates. Now, if we can get quality parliamentarians into parliament, people who are not interested in political power, but people who are only interested in doing the job in parliament, then all this inter-party, intra-party politics will be eliminated. The biggest problem facing political parties at the moment, all over the world for that matter, but in particular we're talking about Malaysia, whether it's Barisan or even the three Pakatan parties, there's a lot of infighting. They fight with each other for party positions. So much so that if so-and-so has been chosen to contest in a certain seat, many times their own party leaders or their own members sabotage the seat because they do not want to see this person succeed, because if this person succeeds, he will go up the political party hierarchy, which to them is not to their interest. So here we have a candidate who has got no political ambitions. He's no threat to you. He's not going to contest against you for whatever position in the party. To you, he's a safe person to support in the elections. So, okay, there's a limit to how much time I'm allowed. I've already way exceeded that time anyway. But there's just some of those issues which I want to raise, and I've replied to some of those questions that were emailed to me. Now, the other thing is, other than this, what we call independent candidate initiative, we are also next month in January, we'll be launching Bahasa Malaysia newspaper in Malaysia, of course. Now, we have no problems with the urbans. The urban areas, they have internet access, they use Twitter, they use Facebook. As far as information is concerned, I think we are well covered. But when you start going to the rural areas, this is the problem. Do you know, there is some areas even in Selangor, yeah, Selangor is not quite Ulu Kelantan, you know. It's not quite Ulu Sabah or Ulu Sarawak. You know, Selangor is considered quite urban. But you know, there's some areas in Selangor, not outside Kuala Lumpur, but only maybe half an hour, 45 minutes from Kuala Lumpur, so not that far. You know, there's some areas when they were told that the Menteri Besar is coming to visit the area, you know, they still say, oh, you mean to say He Toyo is coming today? We say, hello, 2008, huh? I mean, that's 2 years ago. The new Menteri Besar is Tan Sri Khalid Ibrahim. But they still think He Toyo is a Menteri Besar, you know. Now, it sounds funny that an area like Selangor, which is, well, considered as quite urban, and the information flow is not there. I mean, here we have to ask who is the information chief of Pakatan Selangor, and why is it that Selangor doesn't have its own newspaper, for instance, to spread out so that people know what's going on. But here, the lack of information in places even like Selangor is so critical that many people do not know what's going on. And there is no point grumbling like now. The opposition always grumbles about, oh, we're a victim of unfair media. You know, the government-controlled media is spinning lies. The government-controlled media is distorting the truth. Fine. I mean, if I was in Barisan, I will, of course, use the mainstream media for the same thing. That's part of politics, isn't it? I'm sure you've heard of a campaign of misinformation and disinformation. That's what political propaganda is all about. It's nothing new. But what are you doing about it other than grumbling? So yes, this is one of the issues we've raised with the opposition. So now what we're going to do, we are going to come up with our own information tabloid, our own newspaper. It's going to be run by NGOs, yeah? And we're going to go into the information campaign to better inform the voters and the rakyat about what's happening. Ultimately, whether the voters through this information campaign vote for change, that's not for me to say. But at least, what is most important, at least we make sure that the Malaysian voter is an informed voter, an educated voter, and not a voter who does not even know what's going on. And the next election, he goes to the polling booth and he votes for the Selangor government, thinking that He Toyo is the Menteri Besar of Selangor. I mean, this is how pathetic information is in the rural areas, yeah, in particular in the rural areas of Malaysia. So, okay, we will leave the second session for me to answer any questions that you may feel. So I'll stop here.